very beautiful and talented Nida Faruqi. She's a certified makeup artist and hairstylist. She's located in Ajax, Ontario, and she has been in the industry for about 8 years, specializing in special occasion makeup and hairstyling. I am totally in love with her wedding, photo, like the weddings that she does, the marriages. Many of my family friends have had used her services. She actually charges for these sessions, so I'm very thankful that Nida, volunteered, or I actually volunteered her because I'm a good friend to do this for us. So we're going to be doing some makeup tips, and also if anyone's interested, mashallah, Nida has lost, I believe, 45 pounds. So I said I want to start off the new year looking sexy. Now that I got my makeup figured out, I'm gonna look sexy. so, so the next step, inshallah, is Nida will be. If she wanted to do today, I said honestly, I need a lot of help with the makeup. Give me the whole time. So
Yeah,
next step is we're gonna do the whatever tip she's. Hers is all natural. She didn't use any products, and
yeah.
this is what I would like to do. I'm not and look how phenomenal she's looking, right? And also, one thing I asked her to do is she did not wear makeup today, so you can
I
see.
didn't.
I know. I'm just telling you, right?
Yes, and
So
I know I look horrible, but you know what? I wanted you to see my under eye circles and all my, discoloration that it's very natural to all of us, and see how I cover it in just 15 minutes.
okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll shut up because I love to talk. So I'll mute
Oh
myself.
my gosh,
So
no,
everyone, if you
thank
can mute yourself, or I think you could, Miriam, you can do it. You can
Yeah,
mute everybody.
I just wanted to just give everyone the rules, the housekeeping rules for this meeting. I see some ladies are using the chat. Wonderful. See the comments. If you have any questions for Nida, please put it in the chat so we don't miss any of them. Nida, I'm sure will try to answer while she's also doing what she's doing. But obviously for time, we can always, I'm recording this just so you guys know. And then when we're not able to answer, we'll show we make an FAQ or something. Or if we're not able to do it right away, we'll send an email out with all the answers to your questions. If you want to say something, then just also raise your hand. There's a raise hand feature in Zoom. So then we can possibly, I can remind Nida, point it out, or if Nida notices, then she can feel free to answer it if she wishes to, or leave it for later. Okay. All right, Nida, go ahead.
Okay. Can you see me okay?
Yep.
Can everybody see me okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. So I literally barefaced with no makeup. I just put some moisturizer on. The first thing that I'm going to do is I always think that when people think of makeup, they always think of loads and loads of makeup, that you have to own so much in order to look good. That is not true. I'm a makeup artist. I've been doing this for many, many years. Yes, I do own a lot for my clients, but for myself, I keep it very simple. I can go from a daytime look to a nighttime look in a matter of minutes. So I'm gonna first go over the essentials I carry in my makeup kit. And this is the bare minimum that I feel that you should have in order to create what I'm creating, and also actually some of the more common dramatic looks, which I can, if we have time, I will cover as well. So I will go over the brushes first. So one of the brushes that you have to have in your makeup kit is a blush brush. So it's fluffy. It can't be dense, so it needs to have some fluff to it. The other brush that you need to have is a kabuki brush. It can be bigger than this if you want, and even taller than this. Anything that has a wide head, just so it covers more surface area on your face. So this is used usually for powdering your face. You need a dome brush like this, or even an angled brush. And I use this specifically if I'm doing contour, or if I'm using it for areas under the eye, just to powder in the corner. So you need something that is angled. Now this one is very dense as compared to my first one. So this one's fluffy, this one's dense. I want it to pack all the product in its bristles, and when I apply it, I want it to apply it in that area and keep it there. The other brush that I use is this flat, dense brush. This brush I use for highlighter. I don't think I use this for anything else, but you definitely need something like this in your kit. For the eyes, you absolutely need a dome brush like this. And if you can see, so this one I use for under the eye area and sometimes to smudge the eyeliner on the top. You need a flat brush, angled brush like this. So now this one I use to smudge, to create smudged looks. I also use it if I'm creating something like say a very soft cut crease. It allows me, because it's so dense and it's short, it gives me better control, and you can actually work with it very easily in your crease at the top or even in the inner eye area. You absolutely need a fluff brush. And now this brush is for blending the eyeshadow in your crease area. So you need something like this. The other brush that I recommend is a flat, this is taller than my other flat brush. And this one is just to apply the eyeshadow on the lid area. So these are all the brushes I have. So I'm literally just going to show you, this is it. This is all I need. You don't need those brush kits that you see being sold. You literally need just these few brushes to create all the looks. To be honest, the only thing that's not included in here is a angled brush for your eyebrow. So you can add that. My eyebrows don't need a lot of making or makeup, so I don't carry it, but I can show you what that one looks like. So an angled brush would be something like this. It's a flat angled brush, and that allows you to do defined lines on your brow and draw brow-like hair just to fill in the brow. The last one that if you want, and I know a lot of beginners are not comfortable with this, is a thin liner brush. This is only if you wear a liner that comes out of a pot. If you have, you can actually wear a liner that it comes in a shape of a pen, or you can actually wear a liner that comes in a pot, so it comes with a bristles at the top for you to apply. So that only has to be added if you're going to be using a liner product that comes in a pot, which is an advanced product. It's not for beginners, because you have to be really precise to be able to apply your liner. So that was with the brushes. Now for the products, I literally have less than 10 products that I carry. So the first product is a primer. You need a primer, and I know there's going to be questions about the kind of primer, so I will answer those questions later on. But I use various primers. So I like the Smashbox primer. I like the what is it? This one is from Rare Beauty. There is Hourglass primer. There's various primers, but it depends on your skin texture and what is the type of skin that you have. If you have combination skin versus dry skin versus oily skin, you may have to carry a different primer. And sometimes, keep in mind, you may have to change your primer based on the seasons. So my skin tends to get more dry in the winter time. So I use a more hydrating water-based primer in the winter time, but throughout the summertime, I will use a silicone-based primer. And that basically allows my makeup to stay in place and not move, even if you sweat or whatnot. So that was the primer. The next thing that I use is this. This is extremely important. I know I get a lot of questions about covering under eye circles. This is a orange corrector by LA Girl, but you can actually use any corrector as long as it's orange. The other company that you can use, NYX, you can use Quo from Shoppers Drug Mart. What else? I think there's quite a few companies that carry this. So this doesn't have to be an expensive product, but as long as it's an orange corrector, that's all you'll need. And this you need if you've got the under eye circles and discoloration around the mouth area, which is very common for women with our background. Okay. Now, the other product I use is our foundation, of course. And so right now I'm in love with this NARS foundation. I have in the past used the Estee Lauder foundation. And I love it. I have used the Makeup Forever HD foundation and I've loved it. So I rarely change my foundations, but this one I absolutely fell in love with. So I will show you the application of this one. The next thing I do is, okay, so you have to have a face powder. Now, if you don't, for me, I think it's more the technique. Some people may find that when they add the powder on top of the foundation that it gets a little bit heavier, but if you find, okay, so it has to be applied very lightly. It's literally just supposed to be brushed over just to set the wet foundation. But if you're finding constantly that you feel that your makeup is heavier because you're applying the face powder, then the other alternative to this is to get a translucent setting powder. Now, a translucent setting powder you can get, I recommend getting in loose form and then using your kabuki brush to apply it. And that is very fine powder. So this is a thicker particle. It actually is tinted. The translucent is not tinted. And the entire function of that powder is to set your foundation. So I do own one and I will only use that more so in the summertime. But this is one example. It's the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I don't know if you can see, it's literally very, very fine powder. So you dust some out and then that's what you would use to put, to set your wet foundation. Not a necessity, but if you find that you want a lighter look, then that's something that you can go for. Yeah, Laura Mercier is one of the really reliable companies or makeup products. I do like to use their primers and their setting powder. Okay, so after that, the other product that I use, and I know this is old, but it's this blush kit. Now, I got this a couple of years ago, to be honest, from Tarte as part of their Christmas packaging that comes every year. The great thing about this one, and let me talk about that, is the colors. So I do like to add blush, but not too much. But I like that, this gives me various options depending on what I'm wearing. I can play around with the colors. As you can see, I use this tan color the most, and I'll explain why. Then you need this rosy pink peachy pink color and then I like this rosy pink color. This one, I don't think I barely used this one, but you do need something more in the plum shades, for when you are dressing it up. Or sometimes even when you're doing a nude lip, you want to add a little bit of blush just to, balance everything out. So blush is done. The next thing you need is mascara. So you can use any brand. One word of caution is do not buy the waterproof mascaras. They actually end up damaging your existing lashes. So try to use a water-based mascara. The waterproof I only use when I know I'm on vacation and I will be going in the water. But other than that, and sorry, when I do use that, I make sure that I'm using an oil-based makeup remover to remove that. But the easiest thing is just go with a mascara that is water-based, that's not waterproof, and you're gonna be okay. The highlighter that I use is from Becca Cosmetics. This is one of the best makeup products out there in terms of highlighters. The color I use, I believe, is Champagne Pop, but you can also use Opal. I think that's another great color. But if you have questions about what color will go with if you're trying to create an everyday look, I can let you know based on once I have had a chance to see you. But this one actually is great for a lot of our skin tones. Okay. The other product I have is an eyeshadow palette. I've had this one for, ever since it came out. This is the Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. I like this because, it's very versatile for me. I feel like with all the colors in the top row, I can use it when I'm going to weddings and I do need to wear, wedding appropriate or party appropriate makeup. And then everything else over here at the bottom, I use for like the matte colors I will use to create my everyday looks, minus the red here, but I can show you how I work with these colors. If you don't have to buy this, as long as you have something that gives you neutral colors. And let me go over that. So this is another one. So this one's not available in the market because it's for pros only, and this is only available in the US. Very similar to the other palette, but the colors that I use is this brown right here, and it has to be matte. Pink, you want to use something, this is actually a lighter dusty pink. Again, this one is a lighter brown, another variation, so a beige. You want something like this just for the brow bone area. So any of those, I believe the Urban Decay neutral palette, or what is it? The Huda Beauty has also come out with her natural palette. Those colors will be present in any of those palettes. So everyday palettes, you don't need to have the vibrant colors. But I bought this one. The other one that I find is very similar to this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Renaissance, modern Renaissance. It has, I think, all of these colors here. It may have one or two shimmers. I can't remember which ones, but it doesn't have all of these on the top. But it's a pretty good alternative if you're looking for something like this. Okay, last few things is my lip products. So a lip liner, and any lipstick that you like. So I like to use liquid lipsticks a lot, but you don't have to. My favorite brand is Stila, which I don't think Sephora carries anymore. They used to, but you can buy it from any Shoppers Beauty boutique. The other one I like is ABH, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I think I do carry in my own kit some of the Kat Von D's colors. I think my favorite color from her is Lolita. It's a brown, it's a very nice color. So that's all I have. And this is all that I carry for myself when I'm traveling. Minus this, I have some single blush containers that I take with me. But this is all that goes with me everywhere I go, even when I'm traveling, because it's light, it fits in your bag, in your purse. You don't need, to carry any big cases for your makeup. All of it is under 100 ml, and you don't have any problems getting through. Okay, so we'll get started with the makeup application. So I literally have nothing on my face. I used a moisturizer. Now, things about moisturizer, all I want to say is when you're buying a moisturizer, try to buy something that is water-based. And the way to tell that is when you are looking at the ingredient list, the first product should be aqua or water. And that's how you know that a product is water-based. Okay. So we'll get started, and if you want to time me, you can, but I literally do my makeup every day in less than 10 minutes, but I was like, okay, because I'm going to be talking, I may stretch myself a little bit. Okay, so the first thing, so I've moisturized my face. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my orange corrector, and I'm going to apply it in my problem areas. All right, and I do this very quickly, but I'll try to slow down, obviously, because I am teaching. All right, okay, so you literally need very little product. Okay, so I'm gonna do the beginner way. I'm not gonna complicate things by adding brushes and whatnot. So I use my finger, and I'm going to spread this. And as you can see, this product is nicely pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. So whatever's left on my finger, I usually will add to the areas where I need help with coverage. Now, a side note here is if you have blemishes from, say, acne, scarring, or, a scar, or if you have redness from breakouts or whatnot, this color may not work. The entire idea behind color correcting is it's pure science. So we are trying to cancel out the purpleness that causes the under eye circles by applying the orange. And so the orange cancels the purple. Now, if you had redness on your face because of rosacea or because of, any other condition, you will need to apply a green color to cancel out the redness. But you can ask me those specific questions later on. This I found is the most general complaint that I get from a lot of ladies. So I've applied my corrector. I try to spread it out as thinly as possible. So you don't want a lot because then you can risk looking orange. Nobody wants to look orange. Okay, so I've got that done. And the next thing I do is I will apply my primer, okay? So I take literally just a teeny tiny dab using my fingers because that's what we all do, even makeup artists, but as long as they're clean. So I will apply it to my T-zone mostly. Now, personally for me, I do not use an eye primer for my daily makeups. I do use it. I skip a lot of steps for myself, but the idea is that how do you create a look using minimal products and in like the minimal time that you have. So as moms, I have 3 children. I have I had a full-time job up to this point, and then working on the weekends. I barely have any time. So this is my bulletproof, foolproof method of creating a full coverage really quickly. It's worked for me for many, many years. So I am sharing that with you. So now my primer is on. I give it just a minute just to set nicely in my skin. The whole idea of primer is to anchor your foundation that's going to come on top. So you want a thin layer, but you just want to, like when I run or just touch my face, I can feel that all the areas where I'm going to be putting my foundation is ready. It's moist. It does have the product on it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the foundation. So I take a little bit of foundation, and I usually will use my beauty blender, which I realized I did not bring to show to you. So that definitely is a product we need. Give me 1 second. Good thing I'm in my makeup room. I have everything. Okay, so I'm just going to be using this wedge sponge. I like applying my foundation with the sponge only because I find that it applies it very evenly, and it gives it a very airbrushed finish. So I start with the areas where I have applied the corrector. Okay, so that part is done. The other tip I have is when you're applying your foundation, never slide, you dab. And this makes sure it pushes the product nicely into the skin. Okay, so as you can see, I've pretty much covered most of my face. And so you don't need a lot. Always take a little bit on the back of your hand, if or in a tray, however you like to dispense your product. And so I'm just going over with the sponge in areas that I may have missed, and just making sure that everything is even. Now, the one area that I don't like seeing people missing is this right here. So every time I'm out, because I'm a makeup artist, I will notice that people wear their foundation up to here, and then when you turn your face, you can see the difference. You can see your foundation, and you can see. So I like to drag it a little bit under the chin area. Please do that. All right, I feel like this is good coverage. Okay, the next thing I will do is I will powder the wet foundation. So the foundation's wet. I'm not going to wait too long, and I'm not going to touch my face at this point. I'm going to powder my face. So again, when you're taking your product, don't slide the brush, just press the brush into the product's on here. So I'm going to start by applying it under the eye area. And again, I'm not sliding. I'm just dusting the product on my face. All right, all done. The next thing I do is I will add my blush. because I feel like once I start adding color to my face at this point, I can see how the makeup is looking, the overall look. I, can be a better judge of what I want to do with my eyes. So I will take, okay, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to take a little bit slightly darker color just because I want to make sure it shows on the video. So again, on my fluffy brush, the trick is I will smile at myself. This is your time, your me time, right? Self-love. So smile at yourself, embrace yourself, and apply your blush. So I will smile, and I start at the apple of my cheeks, and I apply. And you want to apply, so you have to be very light-handed. I find with blush, if you apply more, it's harder to get rid of it. So you can start with a lighter finish and then add more. Smile again. So what the area where I'm applying it. So when you smile, you start with where the apples of your cheeks are, and then you go upwards. Okay, so it's like a tick mark basically. All right, now that that's done, during my like daily looks that I create, I do not wear a contour color. But I want to cover it just because I do wear it, if I'm going out. So the product for my contour powder, I recently got the Morphe single brown powder, but you can use any brown shade. So Hula is a great color that's very, very popular for contouring. Anastasia, Beverly Hills colors. I'm just going to show you this color. These are for my clients, but so any of these colors at the bottom, they're great for contouring. I don't contour on a daily basis, but I'm sure my powder has a little bit left on it. I just wanted to show you a trick. So it doesn't matter which brush you have. I usually will hold on to my bristles like this and to create this right here. And I will go on the side of my nose to quickly contour the nose area. Again, this is if I'm going out. I do not do this on a daily basis. Right. But if you want to, that's the trick. That's why I said you don't need that many brushes. You can work with the same brush. It's just technique. Okay, so my blush is on. The next thing I want to do is I like to add highlighter. I love adding highlighter. So I'm going to take my flat bristle brush, and I usually slide it on both sides, one for each side, and then you smile again. And then you want to apply it at the top of the apples of your cheeks. So just at the top. So I smile and I start applying. And I go right above the ridge of my eyebrow. Okay, so this side is done. I'm going to do the other side. Okay, and this side's done. I also apply just to the tip of my nose. And to the bridge right here. Okay, highlighter is done. The next thing I do is I will apply my lip liner. And you can use any color that you like. So here goes. Now my top lip is a thinner lip, and if I'm going out, usually I will overline just in the middle to make it seem a little bit bigger, but not on a daily basis. I don't. So I'm going to apply this color. And so the question is, what do I think of BB creams? So as you saw, for my bare skin, I do have quite a bit of under eye circles that I have to cover. BB cream is great. I honestly, the only time I've used it is when I've traveled to hot destinations, because I don't like to use my foundation at that point. So I will still do the color correction. And then instead of putting on the foundation, I will use the BB cream. But other than that, I find the foundations I pick, like I said, using it with a sponge is better than using it with a brush, because with the brush, you tend to apply more. With the sponge, you can actually control how much goes on your face. A lot of your product is absorbed in the sponge. So as you dab on your face, that product just reapplies to areas where there's no foundation. So I find that I can get a very thin layer using a regular foundation. But if BB cream works for you, then go ahead, you keep using that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work with the eyes. So now this is the important area where you can go in between the daytime and nighttime looks. So as you can see, for the looks that I do on a daily basis, I leave the eyes till the end. So the entire face is done. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty palette. And what you need is you want to use a color like this one. And really, truly, all you need to do, so like a light brown or beige, or you can use anything in the neutral tones, light, because you want to start with eyelid contouring. So I'm going to take a little bit of this color. Okay. I'm just trying to see. I found the lighting got better once I.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, Nida, if you can somehow deflect, because the light is your face is getting washed out.
I know. I saw that.
That's better.
Is it better?
You know, when you had your palette blocking it a bit, that was perfect.
Mama,
Yeah.
Mama, are you gonna open your camera?
All right. Let's see. I don't know. Is it better?
Did you want to try turning it off altogether and see what happens? Or do you think
Turning? Sorry,
light,
what my?
your
Oh,
light
the
source.
light. I think it may get too dark, but give me 1 second. I do have another light. That I can try. You guys are so patient. You didn't even tell me that my lighting was a problem. Sorry, give me 1 quick second. Let me see if this light will give us what I need. Sorry, I know I'm out of the frame. I usually carry, I have this travel light that I carry when I'm on site with my brides. I don't know if this will be a better alternative, but let's see. Put this in. Okay. I'm gonna turn this on and then I will turn off the other light. Okay, let's turn off the other light. Might be too dark now, but give me a second. Is that better?
Yeah, we can see you better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your whole face is being washed out earlier. This is better, I think.
Okay.
If everyone is okay with it? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Everyone's thumbs up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it at the first. Okay. All right. So all right. So this is what I do. So like I said, so I was going into the neutral color. And then what I do is literally you want to go at the in between, so in and out of your crease. So sideways. So I just go in and I go, so you draw a very like light C shape on the lid. I wanted to mention that I didn't really use a eye primer. And basically I just used the face primer and just kind of primed my eyes, and on a daily basis that is exactly what I do. So when you're using the lighter color, you just want to blend it. And like I said, I'm just using it, so I'm not using it on the lid area, I'm using it in this area right here, and I just blend any harsh lines. And it just really adds some color to your face. This is all I would do. The only additional step that I would do at this point is on days where I haven't gotten my sleep or I look tired, this is a trick. So you take the highlighter color and you want to apply it just at the inner corner of your eye, and it kind of opens up that eye area for you. So I usually will stop at this point with the makeup. Like I said, for some people, they may need to fill in their brows, and you can do that at this point. But my brows, they're okay. I don't really need to fill my brows. So I'm not going to do that, and I don't usually do that. I don't wear an eyeliner. The last step is to wear the mascara. The reason why I'm not wearing it, because I want to quickly show you, if you're interested and if we have time, to how I would change this look from a daytime to a nighttime look. Do we have time, Miriam?
We are running out of time, but if the ladies are okay with staying on, and you're okay with going a bit longer, we're okay with that.
Hey, we're really, I'm happy. Whatever you can give us.
Yeah.
Deborah. I'm just riveted by your face.
See how I went from 0
Yeah, I'm
to
just
100?
looking at you going, is that the same person? Like, what am I?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, as long as you're able to do it, and then I
Yeah,
really
as long
love
as
to
you
have
can.
questions.
No,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't have any trouble, but I want to show you a look that. Okay, so I believe most people are okay with staying longer. So I do want to show you a quick makeup that I do for when I am going out. So the easiest look to create when like a nighttime look or evening look is to do a smoky eye. And the smoky eye, thank you, Ruby. The smoky eye I create, again, so I'm gonna go back to my palette. There's a few ways. So usually when people think of smoky eyes, they're thinking dark colors, but it's not true. You can actually use something like this to create the smoky eye. You can use something dark like that to create the smoky eye. Basically, it is a single color on the a lid area. And then obviously you have to blend that into the crease with a lighter color. So 2 colors only, and that's another way, that's an easier way. I just noticed, so this is another color that you can use to create a smoky eye. And I have done these looks, if I were going to say, any party. Now we can't because of COVID, but when we all used to, this would be very beneficial for that. And for our get-togethers when COVID is over and I see you guys can try this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to figure out, because there is another look I want to. One is a lighter look, and I think I can go smoky afterwards, because once you go smoky, it's hard to go lighter after that. But makeup artists, they can do anything. So I think what we can do is, okay, let's go with the smoky look first. All right, so I'm going to take, sorry, give me 1 second, I'm trying to find my brush here. Okay, so I'm going to take the flat brush, And I'm going to dip into this brown, as you can see, my favorite. And it's a dark brown. I find the dark brown smoky is classic and, you know, wearable. Okay, so literally you will slide the color down the lid. And then you just blend it. So don't worry about the blending right now. Just apply the color to the lid. It's there. I'm going to do the other side. Sorry, I have to look at the mirror behind the camera. And so if someone is keeping time, look how we would go from daytime to nighttime within less than a minute. Okay, so the dark color is on. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back into a lighter color. So you can either pick this one to blend the dark brown, or you can pick this color to blend. You can even pick this color. So, but I'm going to go with this one right here just to blend, just because I want to show you another look. So you're going to go in with your fluffy brush. I have more fluffy brushes. This is all I could grab because I was getting late. I apologize. Okay, so you just, so now what I'm doing is I'm going at the edge of the dark color, and I'm basically just blending. So I go back and forth until I find it's nicely blended and it looks smooth. I'm gonna do the other side. I don't usually need to stretch because I know where the color is going, but I'm just showing you as a beginner what you would do to find the crease. But for me, I know where the crease is just by the feel of the brush. So if you guys can see it better, maybe I will not stretch and I'll just do it this way. So basically I just go back and forth just at the edge of my top lid and the brow bone in that crease, just back and forth. And I just feather it out towards the end a little bit. Okay, so that's done. The next thing I do is we want to add a color to our brow bone. So for that one, you can use a shimmery color like this one, or you can use, I know this looks white, but it's not. It's like a beige color, and it's a matte finish. So I'm going to use the matte finish right now. Now, I take a little bit of that color and I'm going to apply it just under the brow, my eyebrow, sorry. And you can even use your finger, this one, and go over. Let's do the other side. Okay, so now with this look, so my look is done. Last thing I want to do is I want to use this pencil tip brush, and I want to add some smoky, so that brown color to the lower lid. So let's do that. So for the bottom of the eye, in order to, so I know with the smoky, a lot of the times people are afraid to create like the raccoon eyes. So one tip I have is to go with the lighter color and apply that. And if you find, okay, this looks okay, it's good. But if you find, no, you need a little bit more, then go in, dip into the darker color. But I'm going to go with the lighter just so I can show you how it all goes together. So take the brush. So I start with the end, because even if I deposit a lot of color towards the end of the outer part of the eye, that's okay. I want lighter towards the inner part of the eye. Okay. So this part is done. So I'm actually gonna wear my mascara at this point just because I want to show you how amazing this looks just on its own. Okay, maybe it's a little embarrassing putting this in front of you guys, but now you've seen me bare skinned with all my flaws, nothing to hide. So I like to coat the lashes a couple times. Okay, so this is what it looks like from afar. I think it's pretty party appropriate. All right. Yay. All right. So I know I said that it's hard to go back from the smoky, but you know, I do want to show you another look, and this is my favorite. So in this one, I am going to create a faux eyeliner look, but let's go light on the lid first, and then so this was the smoky look. Let's now I'm going to show you another evening look that's very, very easy to do. So the first step that I'm not repeating is contouring the eye with the brown. So for any eye look that you're going to create, you have to contour your eyes, and you do that by using a neutral color to just, you know, go in and out of the crease and just add some color there. For the daytime looks, I stop there. And then for evening looks, we're going to go one step further. For the smoky look, we added the brown, and then we added the inner corner right here, and then we added the color at the bottom. For this other look, so usually don't do the smoky, so do the contour color, and then you're going to dip into any shimmery color. So I don't know. Okay, let's go with, I don't know. Let's go with this gold, I guess, so you can see it better. So I'm gonna go in with this gold. Okay, and I've got it. So at this point, the reason why I keep looking at my hands is because, you know, when people are working with shadows, they usually will end up having shadows on their hands, and then they touch their face, and then the shadow transfers on the face. And you don't want to do that when you don't have a lot of time. Okay, so I'm going to stretch my lid just so I can show you. So I got the gold color, and I'm going to apply it just to the lid area. Now, this is really bad practice as a makeup artist to apply your shadow after your mascara's on, but trust me, I don't do this with my clients, just to show you guys. And, you know, you can't really skip steps when you're working with your clients, because you have to maintain a level of, you know, professional standards. With yourself, like with myself, I do skip steps just because, you know, we're busy ladies. We're always running around. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side. And I like, I just want to comment, do you see how well this shadow covers the smoky? This is why I really like this palette. Is I make mistakes, I can easily cover them. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed with the shimmery shadow, oh my gosh, sorry. With the shimmery shadow, I did the sliding motion, and that basically ensures that your shadow is going to look shimmery. So you never want to apply haphazardly. You always want to go with the shimmery shadow slide the brush down so it deposits and you have less of a fallout. Okay, so once I have the shadow on, the next trick I want to show you is to create a liner, but not using a liner. So I know a lot of people are afraid of using the liner. So this is for my ladies who don't like to apply the liner or don't want to do that. So you take a black color. I would personally not use the black because I'm always afraid if I have a fallout, then it's harder to clean up. So I would use a color like this, dark brown, or any dark, just not the black, any dark color that you have. And then you can even mix the dark brown and the black. Okay, so this is the trick. So what you want to do is you want to go at the very edge of your lash line, and you just want to deposit the color there. And I do about three quarters of the way. And with this look, it doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because it's kind of that blended shadow look that is very popular these days. So it's I don't know if you, so there's the defined liner and then there is this smoked out liner. So this is kind of that smoked out liner look. I'm just darkening it a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. Sorry, I have to get this text. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's do the other side. So again, you start from the outer edge, go in about 3/4 of the way. It does not matter how straight your line is. Again, I'm not sliding my brush. I'm just depositing the pigment in like very small up and down strokes. Okay, I'm done. I just want to, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like from afar. I'm just going to reapply the mascara. And this time I'll do it to the top and the bottom. Just so you can see that how the overall final look turns out. Okay, so that's it. I went from daytime to nighttime, did 2 looks for you guys. If I can do it, you can do it too. It's easy peasy. I personally like the smoked out look. See, Farzan is laughing because it's easy. It is easy.
I'm laughing because Kubra is laughing.
All right. So guys, if at this point, if you have any questions, please ask away. Miriam, I don't know how much time we've got, but if we have time, I'm here at your service.
We have as much time as you can give us.
I'm here.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
First of all, I don't know, I feel shy and I feel overwhelmed that all the young girls and I'm the older one, but it's
No,
okay.
no,
I'm
no,
learning
see,
from you
it's not
guys.
No, we're with you.
No, I just
How
want
do
to
you
intro- okay,
how do
before
you
you-
camouflage your wrinkles?
Okay, so very good question. I actually have this product I want to show you. So wrinkles, believe it or not, I have them too. And I have them around my eye area more than anything. And it depends on your skin elasticity. A lot of it has to do with genetics and whatnot, but there are products that I feel work better than some of the other products that really truly is just a waste. So one staple item in my kit that I carry for my clients who have mature skin is this. Let me just show it to you. So it's basically a line blurring product. So let me see. This looks like this. Now, this one is going to be a hard one to find because it is a pro product. But I know that the other one that I use that I've actually bought for my mom is by Motives. It's you can buy it online.
Okay.
Motives is, I believe it is a company that is equivalent to MAC or maybe slightly higher in rank. But they carry this fantastic product, which actually comes in a tube. It comes in a tube like this, but thinner, and the tip is like this. So you basically will take it in, you know, in your on your finger, and then you literally will apply wherever your wrinkle or problem areas are. So sometimes for ladies, it's right over here, I find, or around the area, but you don't want to apply too much. So this product, the idea of the product is to blur the lines. So literally what it does, it fills those gaps between in between the skin. So you create a very thin line of product, or apply that in that area, and then let it sit for a little bit. So the key is you apply very thin product, because the more product you apply, the more creasy it will get. The other tip I have is, so once you've applied your product, rest of the stuff you're going to do exactly like I showed you. But when you're powdering, you don't want to over powder, because when you over powder, you create so much product in that area that every time you will smile or you will speak or you create those natural lines, it will look thicker. So less is more.
I use Translucent anyway, the Doria Mercier one.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
bought-
and that's perfect.
Yeah.
Just again, you know, you dust it very lightly,
Yeah.
but the product that I showed you, so it's a blurring. The other actually product that would work really well, depends on the wrinkles, right? So with some of my clients who have minor wrinkles, I will use a blurring primer. And a blurring primer, let me show you. So see, this is why I'm in my makeup room, because then I can show you the different products I carry in my kit for my clients. So this one is a Lancome mattifying primer. It's expensive, but you know, with this one, I find it easily blurs the lines because it creates a very smooth finished area for the foundation to anchor on. So once you have this primer on and then you put on your foundation, you've blurred a lot of the smaller wrinkles anyway. For the bigger wrinkles, I would use the wrinkle cream that I've showed you. So most of them will come in a tub, and they look like this. Again, you apply very, very tiny amount to cover that area.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No.
Just a second. I just want you to do Naseem. Which chapter are you with? Naseem?
You're talking to me?
Yes. Which? You're
Oh.
president of what chapter?
I'm of the Edmonton area. Edmonton.
Okay, so welcome from Edmonton. We're all in Durham, which is
Yeah.
the other person
Yeah,
I don't
I should-
recognize
Yeah.
is Rita. Rita Slum. Who is that? Must be okay. So I invited the presidents on board today. So I thought we all need a picker upper. I need one. So
Yeah.
thank you. Huh? So anyway,
Yeah, welcome to all the presidents who are able to join us today.
yeah, I'm not sure
Thank
who
you.
Rita Slum is. I see the name. I don't know who that is. But anyways, I just thought I'd introduce Naseem. She is an advocate, a hardworking president for many, many years. So we're so honored to have her join us here today.
Nida,
Yes,
I just wanted to bring your attention to some questions that are on the chat.
sure.
To know if you can use the color corrector on the top of your eyes as well, and also what color to hide acne marks.
Okay, so for the top, yes, you can use the color corrector on the top of the eye. Again, you want to use the least bit possible. The reason why I used my fingers with you guys is because I find it's so much easier to spread the product with your fingers, especially for beginners. If you find that you're putting too much product and it doesn't look the same as you know what I have created, the other option is to use the sponge. So you apply a little bit of product to the sponge and then add it to the areas that you need. But yes, you can apply the color corrector to the lids. It's for the face, so it's really truly anywhere on the face where you need coverage. For acne marks, you need a different color corrector. So for my clients, I carry a few. Okay, so this would be the color that I would use for covering acne. So if this is active acne, it's usually a pink or red. Then you would use the green. The other product that you can use, so this one is from Quo. It actually has a yellow, a green, a purple, and a peach. To be honest, I don't find this peach is, you know, it's not strong enough for covering our under eye circles. So I will use this for, you know, my Caucasian clients who don't have that much. But the green is for covering any red marks, whether that's from any skin conditions or acne, active acne. If you've got other spots. So for example, if you have a really dark beauty mark that you want to hide, then you can apply the yellow and then cover that with your foundation. I've never really used any color. So I think the most common complaint is the discoloration. And the other one is the acne. So for the red, pink skin, use green to cancel out the redness and pinkness. And for the purpleness that we have for our under eye circles and around the mouth area, you would use peach or orange.
Okay, thank you, Nida. Also, another question was, can you just give us the name of your highlighter, the brand, I guess it is, that they're asking?
Yes, it's Becca Cosmetics, BECCA. This one I have is actually a part of their, so you know how Sephora has the minis. This one was part of the mini collection. Champagne Pop is one of their very, very popular colors. I think they have it in the holiday packaging right now. So it would be a good time to get this one. But I love, you can never, ever go wrong with this one. I will sometimes apply it on my lid too if I want a shimmery color and I'm running out. So I will quickly apply it just on the lid area. And then, you know, with your mascara, you're good to go. So this is definitely a really good color. The other one I really like by Becca Cosmetics is Opal, OPAL. That is a beautiful color as well and goes very nicely with most skin tones. They do have other colors, as in, you know, you're going into like a lavender or you're going into pinks. I find those ones you have to be careful with because they're not everyday wear. They won't go with your daily looks that you're trying to create.
All right, great. Thank you, Nida. Nida, I have a question for you now.
Yeah.
Gave us a faux liner type of look with the shadow, but can you just give us some tips or when we should, when we shouldn't? When do you wear eyeliner? Like when you're wearing eyeshadow, do you put on the bottom lid, the bottom or at the top? Like what's too much, what's too little, what works and what doesn't?
So honestly, it's all personal preference. So I'm the kind of a person who has never worn liner or kajal in my waterline. And I don't know, I know I'm a makeup artist and it may come as a surprise to a lot. I don't like to wear a lot of makeup. I like to keep it simple and fresh. So for me, I always skip the inner waterline, you know, with whether you're doing it with any color. I find that it's so much easier for me, for my facial features and And as a person, for my likeness, to just add the mascara and do the top liner, if anything. And the top liner I will only do if I'm going to a wedding or to a very formal event. I would do it for that, but I don't do it for, you know, on a daily basis. So your question about if it's too much or too little, I wouldn't, you know, for some people, honestly, they will wear a very thin liner on a daily basis. And if that's something that they like, then you should continue with that. It's not too much and it's not, you know, too little. It really is personal preference. But for me and for my clients. So if a client comes in and they say, you know, it's my brother's wedding and I'm going to that wedding, do I put on the liner? Yes. To me, a formal event, when someone is coming to me for makeup, I will put on a liner. The only time I'm not doing a liner is if it's a you know, younger girl, so a teenager, and we want to keep it more age appropriate, or if it's a, you know, a mom of the bride or grandma of the bride or groom, at that point, I usually will use, you know, a pencil liner. Just again to their likeness. So our moms, they are so used to seeing themselves with the kajal. If I ever let my client leave without the kajal, they're gonna say she was a horrible makeup artist. So,
Yeah, because you're just too used to it.
yeah.
All right, no, because generally in terms of everyday, I don't wear makeup hardly anymore, just lipstick and I'm out the door. But to look relatively alive, I'll just stroke on some, you know, pencil at the bottom only. And like, it just makes me look alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Mariam, you are pretty. Stop it.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, you are gorgeous. Did you see me when I came on?
You are fine tuning it. Stop it.
You're fine. Yeah, so no, I just, because I put in the waterline and that's it. And I am out the door.
Yeah. And I find, you know, it's what you have gotten used to seeing yourself as. So if to you that is your preference, then without it, I don't think you'll ever feel comfortable. So I can't answer the question whether it's going to be too much or not, because it really truly it is your preference. So for me, if I were to do the inner or waterline, if I were to line that is too much for me. And every time I will look at myself, I will be surprised because, you know, that is too dramatic for me. So I don't usually do a waterline.
Yeah, but I think the fact that you do shadow and a little bit at the top there, that makes you alive. You know what I mean? That works for you. So yeah, no, I get it. That's great.
So I saw another question.
Thank
If
you.
I use a concealer. So as you can see with the daily makeup that I use, or the daily makeup routine, I don't use a concealer, but if I am going out, I will add a concealer. And so I'm just going to tell you which step I add the concealer. So before I powder and after I put my foundation. So once my foundation is on, I will use a concealer. So now it depends on how much coverage you need, but a concealer, the reason why I'm using a concealer is because I want to create the light area right here. And so in your T-zone, right? So this is the naturally where light hits your face, and that's where your concealer should be. So I use the concealer. So I literally just with a sponge will add concealer to this area. So don't end it just in the under eye area. You go beyond that, and then up right here on the bridge of your nose, up right here and on your chin, and then just blend it in. In terms of products, there are so many concealer products. I do have Kevin O'Quan Sensual Skin Concealer Enhancer. That one is very thick product, but a little bit of it will give you the coverage that you need. The other one that I like is the Tarte Shape Tape. I know you can't find it here, but I've gotten, when I went to the US, I got a bunch this last time. So I use that, but they have the mini concealers at Sephora that you can pick up. There's some by NARS, there's some by Tarte, there is some by Bare Minerals, I believe. So, you know, you can try out any of those, but I only wear them if I'm going out. Are there any other questions, Miriam? Sorry, I'm on my phone and I'm not sure if...
Nida, just one question.
Yeah?
I was wondering if I'm using the translucent powder, like the setting powder, do I put that right after I put my foundation?
Yes. So always remember, so once your foundation is on, you want to set that foundation so it doesn't move, it stays in place. And the only way to do that is once the foundation is on and it's still wet, you are going to apply, whether you're applying your setting powder or your face powder, you're going to apply it at that point. And then everything, so your blush, your contour, everything will come after.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Nida,
Yeah.
what are your
Huh?
thoughts on liquid foundation and like compact foundation?
Okay, so that's an extremely great question, because I find that a lot of people struggle with this. So I know I got the question about the BB cream. So the liquid foundation and compact foundation. So a compact foundation I find is a very heavy coverage. So even the stick foundation, because, and the other thing to keep in mind is those are usually not silicone based. They're usually oil based or wax based foundations. They do give you the full coverage, but I find they can be very harsh on your skin. So it's great for theatrical makeup or, you know, I wouldn't wear it on a daily basis. The liquid foundation is wearable on a daily basis because it can be anywhere from light to medium coverage or medium to high coverage. So a foundation brand like Armani Silk, it's a very light to medium coverage. A foundation brand like Estee Lauder, you know, Double Wear, what is it? Makeup Forever HD foundation. It's a buildable coverage. So you can go for a light coverage, you can go for a medium coverage, or you can go for a full coverage. So I find that it's very easy to work with liquid foundations. And the other thing is with liquid foundations, you can thin them out. So if you actually squeeze your moisturizer in the liquid foundation, it really is a BB cream at that point, right? So I find that it's a very versatile product. I prefer the liquid foundations over the compact.
Okay. All right.
I have one more question.
Have any questions? Yeah. Okay, Rabia?
Yeah, my eyebrows are completely natural. So do you have any tips to make them not this jungly?
So I do have a lot of clients that will come in because, you know, and they don't pluck their eyebrows or they don't thread their eyebrows. The only thing I can suggest or I do for my brides is that when I'm putting on the foundation, I actually will visualize how their brow would look when it's threaded. And I actually would cover the hair that's underneath the thicker brow area with the foundation, with the concealer. And then when I'm applying the shadow, I will just lightly stroke the shadow on top of that. Now, when you're up close and personal, it may not look as nice, but for pictures and from far away, or even your selfies, you can't tell the difference. So that's one way I cover for my brides who don't like plucking or threading or shaping their brows in general. Does that answer your question? Let me see. Rabia?
Sorry, you kind of cut off and I didn't hear what you used for that.
Sorry, say that again.
You were kind of cutting off in the middle, so I didn't hear what you used for that.
Okay, so I was just saying for if you want to cover some, so what I do is I will, when at the point when you're wearing your foundation, I would cover some of the hair just and go over that area with the foundation, from the top and the bottom, and then dust it with your powder. And then when you're doing your shadow, especially at the bottom, you would just go in that covered area with your shadow. It creates an illusion of a thinner brow. And it looks great in pictures and whatnot. So that's my tip, or what I do with my clients. You know, like I said, we're not magicians, so we can only create illusions, but it's not going to look smooth like when you have hair-free skin. But it is something that you can try, and it gives you an illusion of, you know, thinner brows.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Nida, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So for your beauty blender, any tips on what kind of a beauty blender we should purchase or invest in?
So you know the classic pink beauty blender, that's the one I have. I've been using that for a while.
Is that Sephora?
No, yeah, I didn't buy mine from Sephora, but but you can, yes, they carry them over there. And I think now they have so many brands, but it is that conical shape from the top, and then, you know, it's the bulb from the bottom. I always use the tip to work my way under the eye area, just to get in those areas. And then I use the bottom portion to cover more surface, you know, for the bigger areas of the face. One tip I have to you know, mention is that you do have to clean your beauty blender on a regular basis, because even your brushes, you know, it can actually harbor a lot of bacteria over time because of the products just sitting there. So it's good practice to wash your brushes and your beauty blender, which is very easy to do. So for my beauty blender, I will usually heat up some water in the microwave, and then I will, once you take it out of the microwave, I soak my beauty blender in it, and I add some, you know, you can either buy a brush shampoo, or there is beauty blender cleaning products you can buy, or you can use baby soap to clean it. And that will get, you know, most of the gunk out of it. So you just have to squeeze it a couple times and wash it a couple times, but it is good practice to wash it. So if you have sensitive skin though, and you have skin irritations, or if your skin is blemish prone, I would use the disposable wedges at that point, because I don't even want to take a chance of, you know, getting bacteria into my irritated skin, right? Or cause or aggravate the skin in any way. So I would use disposable and throw it out, and they're so affordable.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries.
Anyone else? Questions?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat too, just to see if I missed something.
Yeah, I think we covered everything in the chat.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, nothing there.
All right.
All right, Nida.
Well, I hope this was helpful, and it was my absolute pleasure to be here and do this for you guys. I know it's been dreaded times lately, but you know, I hope that an end to COVID comes soon. I've been hearing some really great news about vaccines. And whether you decide to take it or not, you know, my well wishes are with you guys, and stay home, stay safe. Hopefully we can get together, you know, soon in the upcoming year.
All right, Nida, thank you. Thank you for sharing your expertise. I can say, I'm probably saying this on behalf of everyone, we thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you for being so generous with your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, I think we have one last minute question. Can you please go over how to prevent the crease occurring above the eyelid after putting makeup on?
Yes. Okay.
Quick last minute.
Yeah, so the crease is occurring on the upper lid because you have applied an excess of product. So whether that is your primer, whether that was moisturizer, whether that was a lot of shadow, or whether that was if you were layering. So for example, sometimes people will use their primer, and if that's a thick layer, and then you apply your single shadow, and then you apply a shadow in the middle, you're creating too many layers. And every time you're going to open your eyes and close them, which we do naturally, it's going to create a permanent crease. So the easiest way to avoid that is, one, you can use an eye primer, and the eye primers are different than face primers. They're slightly thicker than the face primers. So you can use a very light application of eye primer, and then try to stay away from wet products. So any creamy products, creamy shadows, you don't want to use that. You want to use powder and apply a very thin layer, and like I showed you in that sliding motion, that will make sure that you have the thinnest layer, but you get the vibrance of the color that you're applying still. You don't lose that. And blend well, because that will take off the excess product as well. That's something that I do for my clients.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Nida.
All right.
All
You're
right.
welcome. It was a pleasure
your
to
time.
be here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And all I need from you guys are your prayers, please.
Oh, we
Inshallah.
definitely
Thank you
have
so
them,
much.
inshallah. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us today.
All right.
you.
Fi amanallah.
Okay,
Walaikum.
assalamu alaikum.
I love
Thank you
this.
so much, Nida, and nice to see you all.
It's my pleasure. And it was nice to see you guys too. Thank you so much for
Okay.
taking the time out to come.
Thank you.
Allah
Alaikum.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.